Tonight, Penn FC begins the home stretch. 9 straight games to end their season as they make a run to try to make the USL playoffs. They take on Atlanta United 2 tonight here on ESPN+. And a pleasant good evening, one. Welcome out here to FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Glad you could join us this evening. We've got a matchup of two teams that currently are outside the playoff race, but right now Penn FC, coming off of 2 straight wins on the road, is in a good place right now, Charlie, to make a late run.
They are, and they've played exceptionally well here at home, and they now have 9 straight matches to make up relatively short distance between themselves and a playoff spot. So you look for good things to start tonight.
And they start right now tonight against the 15th place out of 16 teams in the USL Eastern Conference, that being Atlanta United 2. But this is a team that has a lot of young talent. And one guy to keep an eye on tonight is the young Angolan, 19-year-old Lagos Kunga, who had a brace in their last game. You take a look at this young kid, you can tell this is an Atlanta United 2 team that really is trying to develop their homegrown players well.
He's a player, young talent coming up through the ranks, still a little untested on the turf every once in a while. We'll see how they play tonight.
He had a goal in the first game between these two teams back on April the 8th down in Atlanta, and now he is one of the key players in their attack coming into this one. For Penn FC, they've got some key losses tonight because they have guys who are playing so well. Their national teams want them. So Lucky Kasana, who has 10 goals and has been on great form, is not available. Aaron Dennis, who has been on great form, is not available. That means they're going to have to turn to somebody else, and tonight it might be Paolo Jr.
Yeah, victims of their own success in many respects, because you've got these players going up to play with national teams, and Tommy Heineman is out injured. So there's real pressure on moving that ball forward essentially very quickly, clearing the back line, and then we're going to see what happens with the forwards. But I think Paolo Jr. figures very big tonight.
Paolo Jr. has scored in both of their wins in their recent road swing, where Penn FC won 2 out of 7. But those 2 games at the end, very important ones, because they beat the Ottawa Fury and the Bethlehem Steel, 2 teams that they are trying to chase down right now in the Eastern Conference race. So this should be a great matchup, and you take a look at the lineups for tonight's game. We're going to start off first with Atlanta United. You see Kunga up top along with Andrew Carlton and Devin Sandoval. Another guy to keep an eye on, John Gallagher, the Irishman, back at right back, had been playing forward earlier in this season, now gives a little bit of veteran presence to the back line for Atlanta United 2. And if we take a look now at Penn FC, the lineup tonight, if you look up top, Salih Muhammad is the guy who gets to start up top. Also, Calvin Resend will play forward as well for this team. They may have to rely a lot on the back line until that gels in the front. Ricardo Menjivar, he's one guy to keep an eye on who has been fantastic all season long to try to link play between these teams.
Brian, you mentioned something very important. It's not just personnel, it's the chemistry, the gelling of that front line, and how quickly they can do that. This is not the normal lineup. You've got players that have been with them through most of the matches this season out with their national teams. Let's see how quickly they can gel.
It's Penn FC taking on Atlanta United 2. It's coming up next here on ESPN+.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Crooked Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
Welcome back here to FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Terrell. Let's go down to our third member of our broadcast crew tonight. Let's go down to Brandon Morey down on the sideline.
It's been a long time since Mike has been here, almost 2 months since the last home game. I had a chance to catch up with both head coaches before tonight's matchup as they were checking out the field pregame. Atlanta United 2 head coach Scott Donnelly said with the size of the pitch, he wants to make sure that his team adjusts quickly. Things can happen much quicker on this size pitch, being a little bit smaller than what they're used to. He wants to make sure his team gets acclimated as quickly as possible. For head coach Raul Voss, he's hoping to keep things clean at the back. This team has scored 3 goals in their last game, although a couple of those goal scorers are away on international duty. He's not afraid of the offensive production. He wants the team to keep things clean at the back, and the scoring will take care of itself. That's what I've got for you guys. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thanks, Brandon. And we are underway here between Penn FC and Atlanta United 2. Our referees today, the center referee is Lucas Sapala. Assistant referees are Zeno Huayho-Cho and Ben Pilgrim. Rob Bryan, the veteran referee, is your 4th official tonight. Atlanta United is in the away reds. Penn FC is in their home blue with the white. Very accustomed to seeing those, but not for a little while here, Charlie, as it's been 2 months since they've been here at FNB Field.
One of the disadvantages of the season schedule was they had to go on the road for a long period of time, but now they're home for the rest of the season.
Ball sent into the box, and the veteran Ramu Pizer is able to grab it as it was sent in on that opportunity.
A little more difficult for him to handle than I think he expected at first.
George Bello was the guy who was advancing from the left back position to do so. We talked a little bit in the pregame about a few players not available in this game because of national team duty. Leading scorer for Penn FC, Lucky Kasana, 10 goals on the season. He is over with the Zimbabwean national team trying to pick up his first career cap. And based on how he's been playing lately, Charlie, he really deserves such because he has been playing some tremendous soccer.
And his presence will be missed tonight. I don't think there's any reason for panic on Penn FC's side, but I will say this. I was down on the pitch checking out the field conditions prior to tonight's match and ran into Coach Voss, and he asked me if I might be able to suit up. So that should give you some indication of where their minds are.
No offense, Charlie. I don't think that would be a good thing.
I do not think it would be a good thing either. I might have mentioned that to him.
Also missing tonight is Aaron Dennis, who's with the U.S. Virgin Islands. Here's a chip to the back post. Now, header to goal! Just like that, Devin Sandoval opens the scoring. A quick goal early on for Atlanta United 2, and they take the 1-0 lead in the 3rd minute.
Precisely what you did not want to happen tonight. You watch this as it develops here. Quick cross, an unmarked player in the box, and boom.
Yeah, they just chip it down that far side to the youngster Andrew Carlton, who finds Sandoval. He beats the marking of Jake Bond inside, over top of the outstretched arms of Pizer. And for Devin Sandoval, the New Mexico native has his 2nd goal of the season in his 12th start.
And you don't want to try to dig out from a hole like this, Brian. It's just, it puts pressure on you that you really don't want to have, particularly with the dearth of forwards that they have tonight. Scoring was going to be an issue, and we said at the beginning of the match you wanted to clear that back line, and there was failure to do so.
Sandoval actually played last year, as several of these other Penn FC players did, with the San Francisco Deltas, won the championship of the NASL with that team a year ago. So he and Pizer were on the same team last year. This time it's Sandoval who beats his former teammate and has Atlanta United 2 up by a 1-0 advantage. Now here are the visitors taking a little bit of the starch out of the ball. They have had the possession here in the early going of this one, as Penn FC, with this slightly different look for them, tries to find a little continuity.
And let's see how they develop things. I mean, this is what you're going to see in terms of what they are really made of, because they're going to have to struggle and come back from an early deficit.
A.J. Cochran finds up the middle of the field. It's Lagos Kunga, who had a brace in the last game. We highlighted him in our pregame show. The young Angolan goes wide with it, and Penn FC ends up winning the throw-in on that side. For Penn FC, this is a team that sits right now 11th place in the USL's Eastern Conference, but because of the home swing down the home stretch, they've got all 9 of their remaining games, including this one here at F&B Field. And there is a little bit of an advantage in that way. They play the ball long, looking for Paulo Jr. The last touch by a junior will be a throw-in to Atlanta United 2.
And Penn FC, historically, Brian, has played exceptionally well here at home at F&B Field on this pitch. And matches like this are where they really need to pick up 3 points, because with a 6-point differential and a lot of these clubs that are ahead of them having games in hand, this is their opportunity. This is prime time for Penn FC.
One thing that they've done well, the teams that they're jostling with for position, those are the type of teams that they've been able to have success against. As Atlanta moving forward. Carlton drops it back to Metcalf, who has the captain's armband on tonight for United.
And you're right. I mean, the teams that they've had to play well against, they have. But these squads that, you know, are kind of down in the bottom of the standings are teams that they've got to beat.
Lost a couple games to Richmond, who is definitely behind them in the standings. This Atlanta United 2 team drew with them back in April, the first time they played. These are the games that you cannot afford to give away points, as Atlanta continues to keep the majority of the possession early in this game. Long ball played up the middle, looking for Kunga. The Penn FC captain, Ken Tribbett, is there. And he gets it right back. Swing it over the far side. Now they're back to the middle of the field. Miles Robinson will play it over to A.J. Cochran. Back over to Robinson. There's Jack Gallagher. He had the goal the first time these two teams played. Can't find him there. Gallagher had been playing forward in the Atlanta United lineup, and now finds himself at the right back position to help solidify things. It's one of the things, Charlie, with these younger teams that are trying to develop talent, these two teams that you have, you'll sometimes see some of the veterans shifted around to different positions to sort of facilitate that sort of growth.
Allow some of the younger talent to get some sweat behind their ears at different positions. And you see Atlanta, I mean, they're playing very well right now. They are controlling the action. They're winning most of the challenges. And you don't quite yet see the chemistry working for Penn FC. They've got people playing in different positions tonight more because of personnel than any other reason. As we've already mentioned several times, they've got victims of their own success because some of their players have moved up to national teams for a couple of days. And you're going to have to see if they're able to quickly put together a consistent attack.
Penn FC trying to pressure, but it goes all the way back to Alec Khan, the Atlanta keeper. Under a lot of duress now. Penn FC tries to squeeze that ball and keep it in, and they do win a throw-in in the Atlanta half of the field.
And that was just playing good hustle. They squeezed it, and they squeezed it effectively.
Marco Franco, the former Indy 11 defender. They'll be in here on Wednesday. As you see, Raul Voss, Penn FC leader, head coach in his first year. Saw a foul there called against Penn FC, and there you see Scott Donnelly. He is the skipper for Atlanta United 2. He has to be pleased. Sandoval, the guy who is there a little slow to get up, he's the guy who ends up having Atlanta United 2 in front, 1-0. We're in the 9th minute of play. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Ball played into the Penn FC defensive half. Walter Ramirez, the Honduran, will play it right back out of the zone. And United will get a touch. It will stay with Atlanta. Glad you could join us this evening. It's a busy night of action in the USL. A lot of big games going on all over the place, and It seems like every game at this point still with major implications on the playoff race. Atlanta almost gives it away in the back. They will chase it down. Here comes Jack Metcalf. Turn there for Laurent Kissidou.
Tried to slide it through there, but just not quite enough space. Good idea.
Franco in a more forward position than we're used to seeing him, although he is a very aggressive defender, usually at the fullback position. They have him playing a little bit further forward here tonight. NFC with it, Calvin Resend. Ramirez, Paulo Jr. Here comes Ramirez down the left side, crosses in the middle of the box. Just a touch behind his man. He was trying to find up the middle of the channel. I believe that's Miguel Jaime.
A couple of nice balls there, though, and you know, one touch and you'd had a real scoring opportunity.
And Miguel Jaime is a guy who plays defensive mid most of the time for this team. So far forward advantage just shows you what kind of numbers situation they have up front, and with the losses that they've had due to the call-ups as well as injuries.
Yeah, no natural forwards tonight. I mean, so you're playing people that are not accustomed to playing there. You're not used to playing with their back to the goal, etc. And, you know, it's going to take a couple minutes, but they looked on that situation pretty good.
Getting a little better for Penn FC, but still down 1-0 on the 3rd minute goal by Devin Sandoval. Well, here to the outside, Carlton looking inside. Sandoval would have been offside, but he'll play all the way back to Pizer. He lets it go. Ramu Pizer, the 39-year-old veteran, just turned 39 recently. The Frenchman in his 21st start of the year here between the pipes for Penn FC. Had some huge saves in their last game against Bethlehem Steel. As a foul called at midfield, and Richie Menjivar is the one who gets fouled by Atlanta United. All drilled by Ramirez off of Kissidou. We'll get a throw in for Penn FC. Penn FC recent form went on that 7-game road swing, promptly lost the first 5 of them, but winners of their last 2, a little bit better form for them. As far as Atlanta United 2 coming into this game, they had a win their last time out against Toronto FC 2. Their previous match before that were draw, loss, loss, draw. So a team that's in a little bit better form considering their overall record of 4-13-8.
Yeah, Penn FC really averted a disaster on that road trip by turning it around and winning their last 2 matches in pretty good style.
Some great scoring in the last 2 games and much necessary to save the season.
Yeah.
You come home with a 7-game losing streak at home,
and it's really over at that point.
Pretty much. Atlanta United possessing in the back. Cannot catch up to that one as they played that ball wide, looking for an advanced George Bello.
Nice crowd out here at FNB Field tonight, Brian, despite some threatening skies. With weather has held off. Down on the pitch, there are some spots that are pretty wet. This field's on an island for folks that may not know its locale. And when it rains, the water levels come up pretty quickly. I was out on the field prior to the match tonight, and there were some spots that are a little testy, but I talked to Coach Voss. He doesn't think it'll affect play. I'm not so sure, but not for very much.
Resend tries to go wide, gets his pass picked off, and here comes Atlanta United 2 on the counterattack. Cut to the inside. Kissidou with the strong dribble, and the ball deflected back to Pizer. Good tracking by Penn FC.
Good tracking, but some real speed on that Atlanta side on that.
There is youth in abundance here for Atlanta United 2. They have already played a ton of teenagers this year. About 18 of them so far have seen time. Ball played in the middle. Muhammad drops it off. Now it's wide. Marco Franco is there, has a little bit of space. Right side of the box. Crosses far post. Headed back in and over the bar by Paulo Jr.
But a great attempt. I mean, that's what you want to see happen. Those are the opportunity situations. Didn't get all of it on the header at that point, but those are the things that are going to lead to goal production. You talked about this Atlanta side, Brian. I mean, my gosh, looked like a high school lineup.
The average age of the 39 players that they've used, and we're going to see Paulo Jr.'s effort. Just couldn't quite get there on the back post. A pretty nice cross there from Marco Franco, but the average age of the players who have played this year, the 39 that have seen the pitch for Atlanta United 2, 27.7 years old, 21.7 years old.
And that includes a couple of veterans that skew it a little bit, because you look at the bottom side of that lineup, you got 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds in abundance on this Atlanta side. They clearly are working on development. It's a great formula.
And it's working for their MLS team right now.
Exactly.
Second place in the MLS's Eastern Conference with a game in hand on the New York Red Bulls, I believe, are in first place. It's a New York sort of thing, right, sandwiching Atlanta United.
And they're bringing up talent. That's what it's all about. You know, it's having folks able to come in and perform when you've got either injuries or folks moving to different levels for whatever reason. You've got folks coming that can play the game.
Penn FC has really developed as this season has gone on too. Early in the season, they were using a variety of different rosters, have settled on a little bit more consistent roster. 8 of the 11 players starting tonight also started in their last victory against Bethlehem Steel.
Yeah, and the 3, as you've noted, are folks that are away not for any reason of coaching decision or injury, but because they've been moved up to their national teams for a couple days.
But to the inside, Bond got a foot on it. Pass going forward and a shot, and just wide of the mark. That is Carlton. Andrew Carlton, the 18-year-old, with a quick opportunity there. You see, again, the speed, the pace that this Atlanta team does.
Well, they mentioned before the match that Atlanta wanted to utilize the smaller field and take advantage of it, and that's the way you do it.
16th minute of play, 1-0. Atlanta United 2 leading Penn FC. Marco Franco with it. Back inside, this is Resend. Is it low? Now a driving cross, and Venter, I'm not sure what he was looking for. There was no one making a run, and I think that's just a miscommunication, which sort of highlights the fact that the group that's out there is not 100% cohesive.
Yeah, you're very kind. It had to be. There was nobody within 10 yards of that, and he had to believe that somebody was making a run through, and it didn't happen.
Menjivar wins the ball initially. And here comes Atlanta United out there with it.
He found the space, Brian.
Yeah. Here's Bello. Plays a little 1-2 with Sandoval. Bello advancing down the side. Marco Franco wins the battle there. Turns the other way. Muhammad drops it off. No one home. It's Kendall Moulin. Here comes Penn FC down the left-hand side. Mid-season signing Walter Ramirez finding Jaime in the middle of the field. Paulo Jr. a rare touch. Menjivar turn. Now spins upfield. The assist leader for this Penn FC team now. Cuts to the inside. Knocked off the ball and fouled. And this is a dangerous free kick opportunity. If Penn FC can push some size up in the box, this is where they can get a guy like a Ken Tribbett with 5 goals already on the season at 6'2" and a great leaper, and also Kyle Venter also usually moves up in this situation. So those 2 center backs will move forward on this set piece opportunity.
They're moving those big bodies forward on this set piece. They're setting up the wall not too far ahead of the box. Let's see where it goes.
This should be the right foot of Richie Menjivar with 5 assists on the season. Again, the leader on the Penn FC squad in that category. They'll chip it, looking, ball deflected backside. Should be last touch by Atlanta United, and is, and it will be a corner kick. Those big bodies will stay up for this corner opportunity.
So you have 2 set pieces back to back here, Brian, and these are the opportunities you want to look at. They're bringing the big people forward. See what kind of cross we can get.
Ramirez will come over here along with Menjivar. See if they'll play the short corner here, which many times they will if Menjivar doesn't take it, but Ramirez looks like he's going to in-swing it with the left foot. 4 blue shirts, 5 blue shirts in the box, headed clear by Atlanta United 2. Presented to track it down. Jaime will flip it back into the mix and headed right back to him. Big Bond will head it in the middle of the field. Menjivar plays it high. Tribbett still advanced forward. He's on that right side of the box. Tries to get around his man. Cannot do so. Ball played out more neutrally. Still in danger. Ramirez plays a low ball to Muhammad. Cuts down and will win another corner for Penn FC here in the 20th minute of play. 1-0 Atlanta United 2 with the lead. Most threatening play, though, here of the night so far, Charlie, for Penn FC.
No question about it. And they're getting good penetration. They're finding good spaces. And they're meeting the challenges.
So again, it'll be Ramirez. This time a low ball. Muhammad rushed onto it, chipped away, and cleared very sketchily by Atlanta.
I'm not sure that's exactly what he wanted to do, but it almost worked out.
Throw-in will go to the visitors. As Penn FC, a lot of pressure on the net, but not anything that goes in. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Brandon Morey with us as well on our sideline. Glad you could join us this evening for USL soccer action here in Pennsylvania's capital city.
And we're just 20 minutes into this match, Brian, because Atlanta scored early. We've been looking at it a little bit differently, and I think there's some pressure on Penn FC. But they're starting to meet the challenge here, and they're picking up the pace a little bit, and the attack looks pretty good.
Ramirez tries to play it down the left flank, can't keep it in play. You saw Raul Voss still looking as he usually does, very cool and collected on the sideline for Penn FC the last time we looked at him, and as he should. Still 70+ minutes to go in this matchup. Team just down by 1 for Penn FC. As you said, there is pressure on this game when you are chasing the other teams in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to describe matches as must-win matches at this point of the season, Brian, but they really are. I mean, you've got a team here that is not one of the premier teams in the standings anyway, a young team. You're at home. You've got a lot of things going your way. You've won 2 straight matches, and you need 3 points tonight.
Franco tried once. Cannot get any further. Plays the ball back, and Tribbett will have to switch the point of attack to the far side of the field. Here is Ramirez. A little bit of a central run. Looking into the central channel. Cannot find Paulo Jr., excuse me, with that ball. Khan plays it to the corner. Not a lot of help there for Atlanta United 2. Penn FC trying to keep it in, and United cannot get it out of that corner yet. Here's a pickoff with Menjivar. Menjivar fires, headed back out of danger for a moment. Ramirez on the left side. He's got a dangerous left foot, fires, and just wide. The Honduran national Walter Ramirez showing his worth, but here's that giveaway. Menjivar first gets the ball deflected, and then the left foot of Ramirez just missing.
Yeah, that takeaway could have been very, very, very dangerous for Atlanta, and Penn FC did a pretty good job of it. They pressed it hard, got a good shot. That's what you want to see.
Can had that covered, and now he'll take the goal kick for Atlanta United 2. Ball booted up into the Penn FC end. Sandoval heads it. Penn FC is the one who gets it next. Venter. And as much as the possession was all Atlanta United 2 in the first 10 minutes or so of this game, the last 10 minutes have been all Penn FC. Franco down the right side. That's back to the inside. Drops it back for Jake Bond.
They really are controlling the action now, and they're starting to put real pressure on. Here you go.
Menjivar crosses. No one home initially. An opportunity. Resend is there. Drops in the middle. Shot by Jaime's deflected up. And for a corner kick, it should be.
Should be. He needs to fire that right away, though, Brian. That hesitation there, I think, cost him. If he loads that up and takes that shot immediately, a lot of good things can happen.
There's Menjivar, and here's that ball you're talking about. Resend and Jaime coming on to it, but Resend slow to take that one, did not like his angle, and now Penn FC from the opposite side with Menjivar now, and in swinger from the right foot. Lost into the box, right to the hands of the waiting Alec Can.
Need to get a little bit more distance on those corners, Brian. They've either short kicked them or line drive them, and that's not where the opportunities come.
And now Atlanta United 2 with the possession in the back. They've not been getting it into the Penn FC end recently for more than a second or two at a time before it's rejected back. This time maybe an opportunity with Sandoval. Played in. Cochran deemed onside. Opportunity down the right side. Good cut to the inside. Shot deflected. Jake Bond is there. Still, the danger has not been averted. Menjivar finally backheels it clean. NFC a chance on a On a counterattack, we're going to have a foul and could be very well a card, although I don't know that he's going to go to the pocket.
Not reaching for his pocket, although you wonder.
Jaime taken down in the middle by the Atlanta United 2 captain, Jack Metcalf. And that is our center referee, Lucas Sapala. He is going to call Metcalf over. I don't think he's going to give him a card.
Certainly has given no indication that he is. Just going to have a little conversation.
Sometimes the captain's armband gains you a little bit of a little bit of lenience.
On those thin calls, you get it.
And that is pretty clear cut.
I was going to say a lot of places that's a card.
That's pretty clear cut most places that I've seen.
We'll stop refereeing from up here now, Brian.
It's nothing more than a yellow anyways, but still
it's a card.
Usually cardable. Franco into the box, headed clear. And now Penn FC does not win the possession. Jaime, who had just been fouled. Check out, it's Menjivar instead, who is the guy who takes down Carlton at midfield. 26th minute of action. It is Penn FC trailing Atlanta United 2, 1-0. Play Wheel of Fortune, the new scratch off from the Pennsylvania Lottery for your chance at top prizes of $100 grand. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Big matchup between these two teams, and another big matchup going on right now. Louisville City hosting FC Cincinnati, River City Derby. Two teams that the fan bases, I guess, technically respect each other, but they have never shown much like for each other.
Not too much, and you know, both powerhouse clubs, not too far down the road from each other. Great rivalry. That's what it's all about.
Not the only matchups that are going on tonight. Have a chance, hopefully, to take a look at a lot of those different games. North Carolina was hosting Nashville. That game is over. We'll get a final on that at least by halftime. Charleston hosting Tampa Bay. Charlotte hosting Richmond. And last night, Pittsburgh, the Riverhounds, knocking off Bethlehem Steel 4-1 in a game that, quite honestly, helps this Penn FC team in terms of trying to get into the playoffs with a late rush.
Yeah, our intrastate rivals there at Bethlehem Steel have played most of their matches, so their advantage in the points column is offset by the fact that we've got several games in hand.
Cross in the box, Kunga with an almost whiff, but got enough of it to make Pizer make the save. He's looking to turn the tile the other direction. Headed back down. Rosend attacking. Great ball to Muhammad. A chance. Muhammad shot. Saved by Can. Another one for Muhammad. Hits the post and out. Two great chances for Salih Muhammad. Alec Can was up to the first one, and the second one, the woodwork.
A beautiful ball. I mean, you can't get any better. He slid it right through there, one-on-one with the keeper.
It was Jaime with the assist there to get the ball to Muhammad. Might have just taken too long with it.
Brian, I was just going to say that. If he fires right away, that keeper does not come across. He's out of position, not out of position, but he didn't have the angle until he gave it to him with that extra step.
Salih Muhammad, the 23-year-old out of California, 13 appearances this year, 9 of them as a substitute before this game, which is his 5th start of the season, yet to score. Had a great opportunity there to equalize in the 28th minute.
That was a one-touch opportunity, no question about it.
Venter gets there before Sandoval in the Penn FC end. And the host will continue more of the possession that they've had over the last 10-15 minutes. Venter will slow things down.
And you have to say this, Penn FC has risen to the challenge. Had a goal scored on them 2.5 minutes into the match. It really was a test of their mettle. They've responded very well. They're controlling this match at this point. Their attack looks good. Got a different lineup up front than they're accustomed to, but with different personnel, they're making it work.
It was a 3rd-minute goal by Devin Sandoval that has Atlanta United 2 in the lead, 1-0. Penn FC with the possession right now in the back. Ryan Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. We're right back out here on Wednesday as It will be it will be Penn FC taking on the Indy 11. They're going to call a handball, I believe, against Jake Bond. Bond saying, look, it hit my chest. It didn't hit my arm. He is not going to win that argument, especially after the whistle's blown. So it will be a free kick opportunity here for Atlanta. Metcalf to take it with the right foot. Sending a few guys forward. They're going to play it short. Carlton stepping through, spinning to the inside, has a little bit of room, gets around Jaime. The youngster fires a low shot, no rebound allowed by Pizer, as Kisadu was there in case. Pizer trying to take advantage of quick restarts here tonight. Ball played back up, Penn FC into the middle of the field. Atlanta will slow things down once again. We've played 2/3 of this first half of action. Atlanta United 2 with the 1-0 lead. Tribbett in neutral position for the defense. Ramirez hasn't had a touch for a while. This time looking up the middle. Paulo Jr. was there, but they deflected in front of him. Here comes Menjivar around his man. Knocked down. And this time, a very dangerous free kick opportunity coming up for Penn FC, as Andrew Kendall Moulin is the one who is called for the foul. And they are going to set up this free kick. They're going to call him over also.
Inside the upper third of the field, this is dangerous territory, Brian. This is the spot on the field.
And it is a yellow card.
He did get the card. I had signaled that might have been one, and he took his time, but he finally pulled it out.
I don't think there's any question that definitely a foul, and the fact that he was behind on that play in a very advantageous place for Penn FC is the thing that produces the card. So the two trigger men again, Ramirez with the left, Menjivar with the right. Scott Donnelly looks on a little anxiously on the Atlanta United 2 bench. Everybody is in place. It's a two-man wall. Menjivar chips, has a head, shot, and a great save by Can.
Beautifully played, though. Beautifully played, Brian. A great save by the keeper there for Atlanta, but that's about as well played as you can get. Right to the corner, right where you want.
Kyle Venter, the guy who gets the header on goal. You see him at the back end of this play. They were looking for him to be offside. Step back, timed his run well enough according to the officials. Can't able to get the outstretched arm to it. Now a chance for Atlanta United the other way. Pizer sliding in front of an unfortunate touch for United. They had a chance there.
Pizer the man on the spot.
And Kunga was too much on that first touch, which betrayed him. Here comes Franco into the offensive half. Run there. Mohammed gets the drop off right side of the box. Square run, cuts into, and taken away from him. Play is sort of opening up a little bit here from both ends. Bond now finds Franco on the right side.
It is opening up, and no real counter there on Atlanta's part.
Headed away for a moment. Resend can't get a shot off. Franco is there. Takes one. Yes, he does. And a deflection off of Metcalf will win another corner for Penn FC. Ball was knuckling in. If that takes a little bit harder deflection, may even have hand off his line and in danger. Instead, it goes a little bit too high.
You hit the nail on the head there, Brian. I mean, those are the ones that really are dangerous because it takes a little bit more spin, a little bit more velocity. You've got potential goals.
Just enough of a ricochet that it goes out. But it will be another corner kick for Penn FC. There you see the Atlanta keeper, Alec Can, who's done very well thus far. Here's a shot, though. Deflected back pass, goal! That is Kenny Tribbett to equalize. Off the corner. Nobody attacking the ball for Atlanta United. And it's tied up at 1.
A slow roller that scores. I mean, that really was not the greatest defense on the part of Atlanta, but guess what? They all count. I mean, watch this.
And just enough of an awkward deflection from Ken Tribbett, who is not going to give it back. His 6th goal of the season. And Penn FC, the hosts, are right back in it. We're tied at 1 here in the 34th minute.
And in perfect position to take advantage of a miscue. And that's what it's all about. I mean, we're back at 1-1. and a new ball game.
So we are equalized here in Harrisburg between Penn FC and Atlanta United 2. See how the response is from the visitors. This time they give the ball away. Penn FC can't keep it in play as Polo Jr. tries to run it down on the right side.
The persistence of Penn FC really paid off there, Brian. I mean, they had just been very consistent in mounting the attack, putting pressure on the Atlanta defense, making them work, getting the set pieces off of the corners in particular, and then on that one they scored. I mean, they've just really risen to the challenge tonight of an early goal scored against them and have responded exceptionally well in my judgment. I think they've got good things to look at.
And Alec Can, who has been so good in the back, there's really nothing he could do on that play, even though as slow as that was, it was just the absolute perfect ricochet.
Just beyond his reach.
Off of Tribbett.
It all worked.
So Penn FC has equalized with a little momentum here. Awkward touch that time for Atlanta United on a ball that was going wayward over the sideline. They didn't recognize there was no one tracking behind. Here comes the throwing.
And with less than 10 minutes left in regulation time here in the first half, I think Coach Voss has to be very pleased that his team responded the way they did. They've gotten the equalizer now. They can get back and I think begin to execute their original game plan.
Coach Donnelly right now, I think the main thing for him, get this young team to the locker room at least level. Jaime, driving shot over the bar. Didn't miss by much, but always rising.
And I mean, Penn FC is hungry right now, and they're pressing the attack. They're taking advantage of every situation, and they're putting constant pressure on the Atlanta defense.
So here comes the goal kick coming up for Atlanta United 2. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. Chance for Penn FC. Mohammed in the box. So a little chip. Was expecting a run from Resend that never came.
Not sure whether that was just lack of communication or whether it was a ball that was overplayed maybe just a little bit. But again, they're putting the pressure on. They have done very, very well here in the last few minutes. And
loose ball in the back, and Paulo Jr. doing a lot of work trying to chase that ball down. And ball played into the Penn FC end. Under no danger is Pizer.
And Penn FC is winning a lot of the challenges now, Brian, which has also helped them to mount, an attack that is pretty consistent.
Venter with it. 27-year-old defender Kyle Venter, also a goal-scoring threat, along with Tribbett from that back line. There's Can. Giveaway in the back. Here comes Mohammed with it. Back heels it. Resend tries to turn, but he was double-teamed there and worked off the ball. Bond will send it right back in. Good win over top of Sandoval. Franco. Menjivar. Back to Franco. Mohammed with it. Menjivar turns. Plays it back out wide to Franco. Marco Franco dispossessed of the ball. Great win there by Atlanta United 2. That's George Bello with the dispossession, but again, a difficult possession for Atlanta. Now they turn with it. Carlton in the center circle. Got him to the left side. Now bounces out to the right, to his right foot. Penn FC easily deflects that away. End-to-end action here. Here comes Jaime. Good turn that time from Paulo Jr. was pace, but cannot keep it in play.
This Carlton kid is very, very fast, Brian, and has some good ball handling skills. He's a danger coming across that midfield. He really is. He picks up speed. If you notice that he's accelerating into another gear and just really blowing by people.
10th start of the year for the 18-year-old. He has many of these players. A Georgian native has a goal in his 10 starts this season. NFC with the throw-in coming up here in the 39th minute. Dispossessed the ball there. Menjivar gets nutmegged, and here comes Carlton again. Straight up the gut. Tribbett, the captain, steps in. The veteran makes the play. Long ball now played up. Salih Mohammed tries one touch on the right side, comes back around with a chance and a shot, and great recovery and knocked out a play by Miles Robinson to protect the goal. It will stay 1-1, but Penn FC once again will have a corner kick.
Yeah, great defensive play there, but another corner coming up, and these set pieces are beginning to mount up for Penn FC. They've taken advantage of one. Let's see what they can do here.
Mohammed was not the easiest of first touches, but stayed on his feet. Hesitated just long enough for Robinson to come in here. Had Paulo Jr. cutting on the back post. Did not see him there, but Mohammed's had a few chances here in this first half. Menjivar with the right foot from the corner. Tied at 1. Can Penn FC score again on a set piece? Menjivar twists it in. Ball deflected away. Jaime has the ball touched to him. Slides in there. Loses it. Here comes a counterattack. Atlanta FC plays it into space. On rushing is Metcalf on the right side. Waits for a little support. Cuts the middle. Carlton with the right foot. A shot and a goal. The youngster finds his second tally of the season. Pizer can't find it as it goes to his side, and the visitors are back up against the run of play, 2-1.
We just talked about that a moment ago. I mean, this kid is very, very fast. They come down. They had numbers. They were building them. Their speed just overcame.
There's Metcalf. Plays that ball in the middle and goes right through the legs of Venter. And Pizer could not get there in time. Again, for Andrew Carlton, his second goal of this USL season.
Actually had 2 defenders on him.
He has been the most dangerous player for Atlanta United 2 here in the first half, as we have a Penn FC player down on the other side of the field. That is Ken Tribbett, who never got back up the other end on the set piece. And actually, that may be another reason why they had trouble on that counterattack.
I think when we watch it on the replay, we're going to see that, Brian. We're watching it obviously in real time. You don't see those situations, but I think when we watch it on the replay, that's exactly what happened.
Penn FC is Rush Soccer's first team, making its USL debut this season. Rush Soccer is an international organization dedicated to the development of youth soccer players. Based in Littleton, Colorado, Rush Soccer has partnered with 85 clubs around the globe, providing a comprehensive club development program to over 32,000 players. Penn FC is proud to sit atop the Rush Soccer pyramid. Just getting a replay of what happened to Tribbett. You see that out of the corner at the last moment. Looks like he got one right in the nose. He's asking why there wasn't some sort of a card, some sort of a call for him. As the captain getting a little bit of trainer support, now going over to the side. So Penn FC, who was down in the 3rd minute of play on a goal by Devin Sandoval, ended up equalizing in the 34th minute from Ken Tribbett's 6th goal of the season, but all of a sudden now chasing uphill once again. We're in the 43rd minute of play here in the first half. Atlanta United 2 with a 2-1 advantage. Resend drops it back. Marco Franco turns, deflects. There's Mohammed. Had a few chances that have not worked out in the first half. Jaime doesn't see the last man cutting. That's Kendall Malin. Atlanta United, I think, would be very happy right now. We talked just after the Penn FC goal. They'd be happy to get in level. Instead, they've got the advantage now.
Yeah, I mean, that was what they were looking to do, was just kill out the clock and go in level, and now they've got a 1-goal advantage. And Penn FC is going to have to scratch and claw their way back. They did it very effectively in the first half, so let's see what happens.
Play all the way back to the keeper. Still some pressure on Can. They play it back up. Tribbett is back in the game now, still holding the nose from time to time. Check to make sure it's still there.
That hurts.
I know he knows it's there. Yeah, the question is it in one piece or multiple?
It's telling him on a moment-by-moment basis that it's there.
Captain with it, chips it up to Franco. Beautiful touch there from the defender. Plays it across to Menjivar. Jaime.
And you didn't see what treatment they gave him. If they put any of that packing in there, it really does change your game a little bit.
Ramirez spins back the other way, makes Kisadou fall, And now an opportunity left side of the box. Play it back to Ramirez. Talented Honduran tries to get around, obstructed, and will be fouled. He set that move up very well against Kisadou. And for Laurent Kisadou, native of the Ivory Coast, making his 16th start of the season for Atlanta United. He could not keep up with Walter Ramirez, who's one of the two standing over this one. So it will be Menjivar and Ramirez. Likely the right footer here. It is Menjivar twisting it in. It's punched away. They're going to call a foul on Venter, who got right in there on Can. And we are now into stoppage time here in the first half. There will be a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage. As our fourth official, Rob Ryan, indicates. Here's your view of FNB Field, and in many parts our sort of vantage point right now that we have from this facility. Been the home of the Harrisburg Senators baseball team for many years now, and the last few years for Harrisburg City Islanders, and now this year Penn FC in soccer. Atlanta United with it, sliding tackle. They win the ball, does Harrisburg. Here's Menjivar over to Ramirez. We're midway through this first minute of stoppage time. Great
Beautiful
ball inside. Jaime finds Polo Jr. Left foot, tries to cross it. Deflected away. Still a chance here for Franco. Tracks it down on the right side. Threat has not been averted yet as Resend turns inside. He's tugged at a couple times, switched the point of attack to the left side. They get a foot to it, does Kisadou, and clears it.
Beautifully delivered ball to start that attack, though, Brian. Doesn't get much better than that.
No shot attempt there for Penn FC. Muhammad tries to dummy one through. Nobody home. Bond will step in. Not called for the foul. And now they will call the foul. I believe they're going to hold up the advantage play. So here comes Atlanta United as we are very close to the end of this first half of play. Do we have a late tally for either team? Sandoval plays it centrally. Up down. Robinson wide to Bello. Carlton cannot chase it down. Doesn't have to. Bond couldn't get there, and it was off him last. We feel some raindrops coming down now. We can see those down there on the field. This will also impact the second half, you would assume. All played up in the box. An opportunity. Bello, it's offside, though. So he was definitely a couple steps past the last man. So that should do it, and it does. We have played one half here in Harrisburg. Our score at the half, Atlanta United 2 leads Penn FC 2-1. As a couple of goals by their youngsters. First by Devin Sandoval, and the second one by Andrew Carlton. Second goal for each of those gentlemen on the season. And for Penn FC, they were able to have the filling of the sandwich by Kenny Tribbett, his sixth goal of the season, this one off a corner kick, to give us the 2-1 advantage in favor of Atlanta United 2. And Charlie, we're going to have an interview with Raul Voss. Our Brandon Morey is going to talk to him in just a second. But Charlie, you'd have to think that Penn FC, considering how they were playing, has to be disappointed now going to the locker room.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they bookended some plays that they would really like to have back. I mean, both of those goals left a little bit to be desired, and as a result, they're down 2-1. They're going to have to scratch and claw in the second half, exactly like they did in the first, but they did it very effectively in that first half.
Let's go down right now and with head coach Raul Voss. Let's go down to our Brandon Morey.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm here with head coach Raul Voss. Coach, obviously it's never good to give up an early goal, but what did you think about the way that your team responded?
Response was good. I'm a little upset about the way we gave up the second goal. I believe it was a head injury and a foul before. And then in the counter, we knew they were good in the counter. We couldn't stop them there. Should have probably did a better job there, but we didn't. So a little bit back to the wall, but 45 minutes to go.
What will be your plan of attack in the second half?
Yeah, obviously we're going to step a little higher. We want to create more turnovers, and we want to win this game. So we're gonna do whatever it takes.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Brandon. We'll take it into our break. Our score, Atlanta United 2, Penn FC 1. Step back with the halftime show after this here on ESPN+.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
Kroger Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Welcome back here to FNB Field, where the visiting Atlanta United 2 has a 2-1 lead over Penn FC at the half. Let's take a look at some of the stuff that's going on right now here for Penn FC as we are at halftime, and just a lot of stuff going on here for Penn FC. One of the things that you want to look at is the fact that this team still has, after tonight, 8 more home games. So there are still 8 more times that fans can come out here and try to get tickets and for that final stretch of the season and try to buy some tickets and come out and see some great USL soccer.
Great USL soccer, tremendous family entertainment value, a great time. I mean, you've got good fans out here tonight. I mean, you got a real nice crowd, and I expect we'll have that throughout the end of the season.
There's a lot of great stuff happening around the USL as well. Let's take a look right now and see what's happening in the league.
Right top corner. Top left corner. Yeah. Hey. Right top corner.
And congratulations, Salih Muhammad, winning a game of pig against Chris Hill for Penn FC. And that's just one thing that's happening in the league for Penn FC, but there's a lot of other great moments we've seen all season long. Well, let's take a look at some of them right now going on in the USL.
See it here as maybe another potential chance for the Rangers. Long range shot, incredible save. Ball knocked over the top. What a touch! Guzman! Put a delivery. Header, tipped over the bar. What a save! It's Kuzane. Oh! Sensational! Handball. Jay Bolt saved by Ranjitsingh. Lance Lang! And it's saved by Crepeau. Are you kidding me? Antoine Opado! Tina kick save by Spencer Richards. Tina, a left-footed shot. Oh, wonder goal from Jesse Daly.
Headed towards Vega. Did he hold it out? Somehow, Daniel Vega holds it out.
Dennis can hit from this range. Aaron Dennis. Cross header towards the goal. It's Dejas punches it over the top to save the lead. Fernando Adi over to his left foot. Fernando Adi, his first goal in Cincinnati. Chambers, he's going to hit it. And Pizer tips it over the bar. The outswinger and volleyed in for a goal.
The defense, Lasser 1v1 versus Kuati, who makes a beautiful save.
Enriquez on his right. Skundrich, what a save from Pizer.
Diving stop by Gomez.
And a goal! What a finish. Saved by Weaker. Calistri, and it's in. And a goal! Chandler Hoffman, that's a goal by Michael. Big save, Connor Sparrow.
Save, Fennelson.
Is going to be on every highlight reel.
You saw our next game of the week on ESPN2, and lots of great action going on. We'll get a look at the scoreboard in just a little bit, but just want to remind you that the final 8 games homestand coming up here for Penn FC. You see beautiful the Harrisburg skyline right there, and still time. You can check out the Penn FC website to get tickets and come out here and check out. You'll get some great action coming up. The next game coming up for Penn FC out here is on Wednesday night, as they will take on the Indy 11. Right now we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some first half highlights. That's coming up after this. Atlanta United 2 leads 2-1 over Penn FC at halftime. Back after this on ESPN+.
Kroger Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the recycling center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The recycling center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Back here at FNB Field in Harrisburg, Penn FC trailing Atlanta United 2-1 at the half. Let's take a look at some of our first half highlights. And they started early on with Atlanta United 2. Great job chipping the ball down the right side. And it is Jack Gallagher who chips the ball the inside. Devin Sandoval finishes just like that in the third minute. It's 1-0. Great save by Alec Can. And then on the other side, Ramu Pizer kept it 1-0 at that point. But Penn FC would not be denied for too long. Marco Franco sends the ball into the box. Deflection wins a corner, and on the ensuing corner, it's a finish for Ken Tribbett off the assist from Menjivar. Salih Muhammad had a couple chances in the first half. This may have been his best one, deflected away by Miles Robinson. But it's Gallagher again, this time playing it into the box, finding Andrew Carlton, and he finishes to put Atlanta United 2 up 2-1. One more chance here for Muhammad in that first half, unable to score. And that is our score at the half, 2-1 in favor of the visitors from Atlanta. As we take a look at our first half statistics between these two teams, as we take a look at what we have here. Obviously, the 2 goals for Atlanta United in this first half. They took 6 shots in the first half compared to 11 for Penn FC. No corners for Atlanta United 2. There were 4 of them for Penn FC, and Penn FC was the only team not called offsides. Atlanta United had 1 of those in the first half, as we're just about set to go here in the second half of play between Atlanta United 2 and Penn FC. See if there are any changes here to start off the second half. Does not appear like I see any right now. Nothing that is obvious for us, we'll put it that way. And we'll make sure of that as we begin. But we're underway here in the second half of action. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Glad you could join us this evening. It's a wonderful, cool evening here in Harrisburg for USL soccer action.
And the rain's been nothing more than a little drizzle, so we've played well in pretty good conditions.
Want to bring people up to date on some of the scores around the league. A little bit earlier today, North Carolina and Nashville, 2 teams that Penn FC is chasing for a playoff spot right now, did exactly what maybe you need in this circumstance. They draw 3-3, a very offensive game that was played in North Carolina. Speaking of Carolina, Charlotte has a 1-0 lead on Richmond at halftime. That's in Charlotte. Charleston, the Battery, have a 1-0 lead on the Tampa Bay Rowdies at halftime. And in that very heated rivalry, Cincinnati, FC Cincinnati has broken on top of Louisville City by a 1-0 count. That is midway through the first half.
That's a blood match, isn't it?
Very much so. and it has been Louisville City, the one team that has had the number of FC Cincinnati. Is a great job there by Atlanta United 2 of keeping that ball away from their goal. Offside called against Atlanta. Moved into a offside from an offside position into an onside position. Caught by our linesman. 2-1. Jack Gallagher, both assists for Atlanta United on the Sandoval and Carlton goals. Ken Tribbett was assisted I think they'll look back. It's listed as Marco Franco, but it very clearly was Richie Menjivar who had the assist on the Penn FC goal. Here it comes to the near side. The dangerous Honduran Walter Ramirez tools it forward off a deflection. The Brazilian Paulo Jr. Ramirez cuts to the inside. Low ball. Mohamed drops it back. Now flips it out wide. Here is Franco deflected. Nobody in the middle of the field, though, to recover for Penn FC. Bond will play it right back in. Mohamed drops it off. Here comes Franco. Cuts it inside. Nobody home and cleared. That's a great play. Raul Voss over there with a great catch. You know that ball's a little slick over there, too.
Good hands. They really have got to get those runs into the middle, though. The ball's coming into the box pretty well delivered, and they're looking for support, and it's just not there.
That's a coach who wants to really emphasize the idea of quick restarts. So much so that he
helped out a little.
Circumvents the ball boy and is able to do that himself. Fiery individual. Really is a spirited guy and a great coach for this team. Really fits the personality of this Penn FC team very well.
He does, and look what he's done with this season. I mean, they started out with some difficulties, trying to find their way, different lineups, as you already mentioned. But once he found his group, once he got them to gel, once he got the chemistry worked out, played very, very well. And the only reason that they're not playing with that group tonight is that 3 of them are called up by their national teams.
Again, Lucky Casana, Aaron Dennis, Jorge Rivera on national team duty tonight for their respective nations. Ball played in the middle, a shot. Paulo Jr. right at the keeper. It scored it away from Can, but nobody on the doorstep to knock it home.
Pretty nice run, but as you say, put it right to the keeper and nobody there to get the rebound.
Can will distribute in the back. Penn FC, as we heard from Raul Voss at halftime, looking to pressure up as we again see a little bit more of this possession from Atlanta United 2. Gallagher making a run down the right side. Ball played a little too close to Piser's box. Atlanta United 2's next game, they are back on the road next Saturday, September the 15th, as they will be at the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It's a 7:30 start time in Tampa Bay for that one. Jake Bond with it for Penn FC. We said before, Penn FC's next game will be on Wednesday night. We'll be back here. It's a 6:30 start time, I believe, here from Harrisburg, where Penn FC will be hosting the Indy 11 for the first time ever. And then next weekend, they play on Sunday night once again, and it is just a busy schedule from there. We're going to have a goal kick for Atlanta United after that one, but on the 16th, it's North Carolina FC next Sunday night, which is a 6 o'clock start time on a Sunday evening in a pivotal game between two teams who really are going to be needing that game.
Both in the hunt.
And both on the outside looking in. Right. Final spot right now owned by Nashville. They have, after today's draw, a 7-point lead on this Penn FC squad.
And as I said, you kind of hate to talk about must-win matches at this point, but they really become that. You don't pick up 3 points in a situation where you should, and you're really, really struggling through other matches because you've got to leapfrog several squads to get to that playoff spot.
Ball played into the corner, nobody there for Penn FC. And these also become more important too, Charlie, because after that North Carolina game, it's Louisville City, FC Cincinnati, Pittsburgh Riverhounds back to back to back.
How's that for Murderers Row?
That is not exactly, I know they're at home, but that is not exactly the easiest slate of games if you're trying to make up points. That lightens up a little bit at the end with the Charlotte Independence, the New York Red Bulls 2, and finally Toronto FC 2.
That is not a cake schedule.
Shot for Penn FC, whistled by Menjivar, a low ripping shot that gave Can a little bit of a problem, but able to gobble up the rebound too.
Yeah, ordinarily it would say that's a garden variety shot, but it looked like he had trouble handling it. He had some mustard on it.
Bello, Sandoval. Atlanta with possession to the back. Bring it over here to the near side to Gallagher. The Irishman plays it forward. Just enough room to keep that one in play.
Boy, he played that touch line about as close as you possibly could. He ran it the whole way down without pushing it out of bounds.
Atlanta with it in the offensive half. Metcalf goes to Kissadoo. Drop back. Here's Metcalf once again. Switches the point of attack to a wide open George Bello running up. First touch betrayed him, and here comes Franco on the rush on the counter. Marco Franco in the offensive half. Paulo Jr. had a chance there, and we've got a foul. And one that was not necessary. George Bello not realizing that they had coverage in the back, but he wasn't taking any chances. And for his work, he will pick up a yellow card here in the 53rd minute.
Good spot on the field for Penn FC, but you almost would have liked a play on call there, Brian. I mean, they had the advantage, and they had swung the ball over here onto the other side, and I looked at some real serious numbers building for Penn FC.
Well, they get to push the big bodies up front again, though, with this. They will get to restart.
And they've liked these set pieces tonight. They've done well with them.
And here we get to see that run from Marco Franco, and Bello just pretty clearly trying to affect that play and got a piece of Franco on the ankle on the way by. Ramirez with the left foot. Menjivar, who already has an assist, although not credited to him yet, is the right footer with it. You've got 5 bodies over here on the near side looking to make a run. It'll be the left footer Ramirez who will chip. Looking back post. Has a man. Muhammad is saved by Can. And they're going to call it offside anyways.
It's so close. Great header by Muhammad.
Was right there on the opportunity as he was just ahead of everybody. He just can't buy one. He really, in a way, Charlie, it's like what we had with Aaron Dennis at the beginning of the year, where he just wasn't finding the back of the net, and all of a sudden he got hot for the team over the last few games. And now you've got Salih Muhammad, who seems to have been picking up the original role where he's getting chances but just can't find the back of the net.
And there was a nice chance. They ultimately called him offside, but there, diving save. And other than that, we're at even.
Alex Can on the season 2-2 as a starting keeper for Atlanta United 2. And this time, a shot wide of the mark. It's the effort taken by Resend.
And Penn FC continues to press, and you like to see that. I mean, you hate to have them in a hole, and frankly, I think an unnecessary one, but they're pressing the attack.
Voting runs through this weekend for the USL's monthly awards. Have your say in the votes for Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month at USLsoccer.com. Played back, a lot of pressure, as you said, Charlie, continuing to be put on Atlanta United when they have the ball in their own defensive third. Carlton gives it away to Tribbett.
That time the speed of Carlton overcome by a nice takeaway by Penn FC.
Here is Ramirez to the middle of the field. Menjivar will swing it to the far side. Franco has been dangerous with his runs. Flips it out there for Resend. Resend looking for the box. Deflected, just close enough to Can to be able to scoop that up. Ball played back. Oh, and Muhammad had a gift look him in the mouth, and he couldn't turn in time on it.
Another 5 or 6 inches, and he's a very happy man.
Paulo Jr. gets a misplay from Atlanta United. A shot and a rip with the left foot of Miguel Jaime. Goes high.
And I think that was the shot to take, Brian. Just let her rip. You know, a couple times they played around with it a little bit and overpassed. That time he just let it fly. Leaned back a little too far and got it over the bar.
Nice back heel from Paulo Jr. And Jaime just couldn't stay over top of the ball on the rising shot. So Can once again will take the goal kick for Atlanta. Continue to lead 2-1 on Sandoval and Carlton goals, sandwiching the Penn FC tally from Ken Tribbett. Ball played firmly and out over the end line for a goal kick for Penn FC.
Goal kick, Penn FC. We would like to recognize Clifton Hill Town Hall as the official housing partner for Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township.
So we are approaching 2/3 of this game gone by. Still in the 57th minute here. At what point, though, Charlie, do you look to the bench to see if you have anything that can spark you with fresh legs?
I'm not sure, because they're short-staffed as it is, and bringing in new legs may not be the solution at this point. I think they've really got to continue to press the attack as they have, continue to win the challenges, which they've been doing, and one of those chances may work out for them.
Throwing coming up. There are fresh legs coming in, though, for Atlanta United 2, as they will go to their bench shortly. Not yet, though. They have not started. They're not allowed the substitute to come in yet. There will be a Penn FC throw-in coming up.
What does Coach Voss have available, Brian?
On the bench for Penn FC tonight, and of course, your backup keeper, Jacob Glisick. You've got Thiago Calvano, Haruna Shaibu, Salvatore Barone, Dan Metzger, Prince Baffo, and Fabio De Sousa.
So they've got some offensive spark plugs in that group.
We are going to have a substitution here, though, as checking in for Atlanta United 2. It looks like it's going to be Oliver Shannon who will check in.
Atlanta United substitution. Number 29, Shannon Oliver, replaces number 11, Laurent Quesido. Time of the substitution.
They will take out Laurent Quesido in the 58th minute of play. The offside flag was up on that last play. Oliver Shannon, a 22-year-old Englishman, making his 18th appearance of the season. Just the second one for him, though, off the substitutes bench for head coach Scott Donnelly. FC placed it into the offensive half. Sandoval can't maintain the possession, and the dangerous play will give the ball to Penn FC. Sandoval looking, asking, and not getting an explanation. So it will be Penn FC to restart here. Emphatically challenged Jake Bond will hand it off to Menjivar, who will restart.
Not politely stated.
Venter looking down the center channel, can't find anyone home there. The ball played back out. We've got a foot race coming up here. Lagos Kunga beats Tribbett to the ball. Down the right side of the box to the trailer. Here's Metcalf, and that ball is deflected by his counterpart. Both number 4s wearing the armband, and the Penn FC captain's the one who gets the best of that one. Metcalf keeps it in play, heads into the box, and Penn FC heads it clear. Played in. Another chance for Atlanta United 2. Tribbett got a piece of that one, and just enough to disrupt everything. Penn FC will try to hold it up here. Resend turns on the right side. Now spins back. Franco is there. Plays it centrally to Menjivar. Has a little bit of pressure from behind. Kunga can't get to him. Ball played long, and a little too long that time. Intended up the field for Calvin Resend.
Last couple of times down, Penn FC played it to the middle, and as you correctly pointed out, Brian, without much success. There is space on the touchline. They may want to spread the field a little bit, just see if they can open up that defense a little bit.
Get a good look at Calvin Resend. Calvin Resend, the Connecticut native, making his 7th start of the season, 14th appearance overall. 25-year-old. His first year here with Penn FC, played a year ago with Miami FC in the NASL. Getting an opportunity with a couple of players not available tonight for Penn FC to try to showcase his stuff out there. Right now his team is down 2-1, but with possession of the ball in the back. Pizer has his pass deflected by Sandoval, who put good pressure. Tribbett's pass goes wayward over the far sideline. Play Wheel of Fortune, the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery for your chance at top prizes of $100 grand. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. And here is that first substitution. It will be Resend who comes off, and Prince Baffo will make an appearance off the Penn FC bench. For Baffo, this is appearance number 12 of the season, has 1 goal so far in his contests.
So much for my thought about no subs there, Brian. Once again, an indication of my soccer genius.
Baffo, the Ghanaian, who, like several players that Penn FC has gotten from inter allies in the Ghanaian First Division, known for, at least in his native land, his big leg and some big goals. Penn FC would love to have one of them show up here tonight. Venter with it. Over to Ramirez. Jaime. Tribbett. Plays it long. Nobody home there. And the second pass is played back by Atlanta United to a more central position. Tribbett's deflection at least gets it close enough to a Penn FC player to maintain possession. Ramirez tries to send it in the middle of the field. A little slippage there, but Atlanta United is able to control. The young legs of Atlanta United will be tested here in terms of their game plan. Looks like, Charlie, the offensive game plan now is defend and then try to play long balls to the quick speedsters up top.
That's what they're going to try to do, and we'll see how it works. They've got less than 30 minutes to make it happen.
Menjivar turns, finds Jaime in the middle. Switch the point of attack over to Tribbett here on the left side. Ramirez is there. Central run, looking inside for Muhammad. Check that, that was Baffo making the run. Now it's Atlanta United on the opposite side of the field. Bond can't get a clean pass up there. It's not deflected at the end. Sandoval, and Atlanta United too will possess the ball a little bit.
I assume strategically at this point, Brian, that Penn FC would be willing to settle for a draw in regular time, figuring that they've got a home field advantage and they're playing against a younger squad. But you sure would prefer to not have it go that way.
Venter drops it back. Menjivar under a little duress there. Finds a nice pass to Muhammad, but he only can head it wide of the mark and over the end line. Looks like we're going to have another substitution coming in here for Atlanta United 2. That'll be it for the night for George Bello, as Jose Hernandez will replace him. Hernandez making his 11th appearance of the season for Coach Scott Donnelly. There you see Scott Donnelly pacing the sidelines. He has done very well with what his job is with this squad, and that is to get his younger players time and develop them. Try to build the next generation, the upcoming generations of Atlanta United players. Something's working with that organization, and you're seeing why it's one of the hottest organizations in the MLS. It's the way that they have done business here as well. The record, yeah, they're 15th overall, but you can definitely see there is some talent abounding with this youthful squad. Menjivar with it for Penn FC. Lifts the ball forward. Baffo drops it off. Now goes wide. Touched by Ramirez is not enough to keep it away from Metcalf. Great ball from Carlton, and unfortunately for the highlight reel, that was offside because Kunga was a step behind the defenders. But man, look at this spin from Carlton if we have it. That is a tremendous move. It is Metcalf playing the ball. Beautiful spin and back heel, and I don't think that was offside. I think everyone was so shocked by that touch, including the linesman, that he looked up and just agreed with the Penn FC players. I don't think it was. I think they dodged the bullet on that one. Foul called here on the near side. Gallagher, the veteran foul, taking down Jaime and not allowing anything further, as it looked like Jaime had a little bit of a step. Quick restart. Ramirez will drop it back to Bond in the center circle. Franco, driven ball. Paulo Jr. is over here. Retrieve the header off of Atlanta. Cuts to the inside. Ramirez chips it into the mix. Got an opportunity. Turning is Baffo. One of his first touches of the game. Down the right side. Tribbett got a deflection off of that one. It will be a corner kick coming up for Penn FC. I think you're also seeing with Ken Tribbett move forward here how important it is for Penn FC not just to equalize. They are looking for the win here because they know how important the 3 points would be.
They are, and these 3 points loom very, very large and larger by the minute. And here comes another set-piece opportunity.
Benjavar to take it. Twist in the box. Tribbett heads it. Deflected away. It's Kendall Malin. We got the final touch to that one, and ball deflects harmlessly off of Penn FC, but they are going to make a substitution as this ball goes out of play. As we see the header from Tribbett. Andrew Kendall Malin able to save the day.
And a good strong header. The problem is he's too far from the frame to make it count.
Salih Muhammad is done for the evening as he will check out of the game. Penn FC will bring in Dan Metzger, the veteran of the New York Red Bulls in past seasons. You bring a little veteran experience and also some savvy out there. Try to find the equalizer first. 68th minute of play. Atlanta United 2 with a 2-1 advantage on Penn FC. Throw-in comes in. Metcalf takes down Ramirez, and that will be a foul on Atlanta United. Benjavar plays it wide. Far side of the field is Franco. Out of Bond. Metzger. Play it back over to Franco. Ball played centrally. Cannot find Baffo, and they'll drop it all the way back. The fresh legs will chase and force a chip by Can. FC trying to win the header, but nobody's there in the middle of the field to retrieve that one. Franco will head it back into the Atlanta United defensive end. The kick ball back and forth. Menjivar finally will settle things down for Penn FC. Ramirez, the Honduran, drives one into the box. Tribbett slipped. Baffo gets a touch to it, cleared away just momentarily. Here's Menjivar, 30 yards out from goal. Drops it back for Metzger. Play it right back to him. Now to Bond. Atlanta United bunkering down just a little bit with this 2-1 advantage. Bond steps around Kunga. Now forward. Chipped by Menjivar to an open player. Chipped into the box. That was supposed to be a cross on the backside of that play. But it also could have been a dangerous chipping shot off the foot of Marco Franco. Be a goal kick coming up for Atlanta United. How well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every week, and you could win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice.
Down to 20 minutes left in this match, in regulation anyway, and you know the clock begins to become a factor, Brian.
No question about that, as Atlanta United too will make a third substitution. The difference here is, even though I'm sure the youthful legs of Andrew Carlton could move a little quicker off the field, he at least is knowledgeable enough to take his time getting off the field as he is replaced, and this is definitely a move right here to try to slow things down. Jackson Conway, more of a hold-up player up front with his size, replaces Carlton. Also, you would have to think Conway, if they need him to help defend in the box, will be able to do so. Paulo Jr. turning in, ball deflected and played back out. Sandoval drops it off. Here's Kunga. Lagos Kunga. To the outside. Gallagher with 2 assists already tonight. Slid by Bond, and he's getting a card for this one. Late on the challenge, and Jake Bond picks up the first yellow card against Penn FC tonight. Here in the 72nd minute.
He knew it. Just kept moving on.
And these set-piece opportunities now are the ones where these will be probably the few and far between opportunities offensively. Yeah, no question about that one. Fortunate that the studs were down on the way on that slide. Yeah. Because that was definitely a violent tackle. And it will be the captain, Metcalf, to take this one. Looking to swing this one into the box. A lot of bodies forward here this time for the visitors. Ball played back post. The guy elevating over top of everybody was Tribbett. Penn FC the other way. And we're going to have a throw-in. Fans wanted a foul against Atlanta United, did not get one. And Paulo Jr. definitely wanted a foul. He felt he got knocked on the play illegally.
He's pleading his case.
Let's see what he has in mind. I would have to agree with the referee on that one. That one was just a touch, maybe to the side, but I've seen much, much worse contact.
Yeah, you're not going to get that call at this stage of the match. Is what it boils down to. You're just not going to get it.
Bond with it to Franco. And at this point, the sense of urgency from Penn FC has to increase even more as they find themselves down a goal, in need of points to continue their push for a postseason berth. Or ball to the outside played that time, and Atlanta United will clear it to a more central position. Bond steps in. He is brought down from behind. And that is the new substitute in the game, Conway, who grabbed the hold. Allows another set piece opportunity, and the big bodies trot up once again into the box. Menjivar plays it to a streaking Franco. Franco curls it backside. Venter got up high. Goes back across the face of goal. Jaime to his foot. Swings it back outside. Ramirez is there. Dangerous left foot. Chips into the box, but not far enough. Sandoval tries to get it to the sideline, and it's going to be a throw in Penn FC as Metzger at least able to get Conway to make the last touch to it. 74th minute of action. Penn FC trailing 2-1 at home. Ball in the box. Tribbett out jumped on that one, but it's Ramirez who tracks it down. Tries to attack the end line. Cannot get around Gallagher. And the ball by Venter is not well distributed. He was looking to twist that back in and could not bend it enough.
A lot more bend needed on that.
Get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLSoccer.com. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux here on ESPN+. 2-1 is our score. The underdog Atlanta United 2 with their talented teenagers and also a nice sprinkling of veteran players as well have the lead here on the road, looking for their 5th victory of the season. And that is an anxious head coach over there on the sideline right now in Scott Donnelly, hoping his team can carry sway and see this game out. Bond sends it in the middle. Ball played all the way back. Robinson over to Gallagher. Tracked by Ramirez. The ball was played well in, but not controlled well by the substitute, Oliver Shannon.
Well said. It really was a nice ball into the box. Good delivery, but not well handled. And as a result, goal kick coming the other way.
Penn FC, 15 minutes and stoppage time left to go for them. Bond sends the ball long, continually looking for Tribbett. Doesn't get a piece of that one, but Paulo Jr. is there. Tracks it down. It's an outlet, and Ramirez. The left footer drives it into the box. Tribbett was looking for a bike. Not a good decision because he was sandwiched by 2 guys, got a piece of somebody, and Kenny Tribbett's going to pick up a yellow card. He scored on one of those earlier this year, and this time he scores yellow. We'll call that a very dangerous play. I believe that's Miles Robinson who did not get the better of that one. That is Robinson. You see Tribbett, that does not make much sense there. If you are sandwiched like that, you're not getting the bike off, and even if you do, you're not going to be allowed to keep it. Boot right in the face, and that does not feel good.
Now that smarts a little. And to his credit, Tribbett knew it right away.
Yeah.
Went to make amends and tell him he was sorry.
Doesn't change the card.
It doesn't change the card, but it's a bang play.
Right.
I don't think there was any intent to do anything.
No.
And you're right. When you're sandwiched, you're not going to get it off. You're not going to keep it if you do. But you're up in the air. What the heck do you do? You kick.
Penn FC is Rush Soccer's first team, making its USL debut this season. Rush Soccer is an international organization dedicated to the development of youth soccer players. Based in Littleton, Colorado, Rush Soccer partnered with 85 clubs around the globe, providing a comprehensive club development program to over 32,000 players. Penn FC is proud to sit on top of the Rush Soccer pyramid. And when you have an injury like this and your team is ahead, you are going to see teams milk the time just a little bit more. So that is Atlanta United's goal here. 21-year-old defender from Massachusetts, Miles Robinson, making his 9th start of the year. And now we've got our center referee, Lucas Sapella, having a conversation with a couple guys in the middle of the field.
And the Capitol crew down there getting a little antsy about the passage of time here, Brian. They had a few words for the Atlanta side as they were down there attending to their injured teammate.
The last home game for Penn FC was against Richmond, who is below them in the table and was below them at that time in the table as well. Continues to be. By the way, they're trailing right now 2-1 around the same time period and in Charlotte tonight. But Richmond was able to win that night and send Penn FC out on a losing note into their road swing where they lost the next 5 games. And I think that's what maybe some of the antsiness is about against the teams that are below you on the table. Not being able to get victories in those contests is a concern, not just for the team and for the coach, but also for the fans. Ball played into the box. Baffo tries to squeeze it through, can in front of Tribbett to grab it.
A lot of defenders there, and again, swing that pass, switch your fields, you're going to create more opportunities, I think.
Ball played long. Sandoval got a bump to Bond on that one, but it's Bond who recovers. Keeps it in play. And now runs into his own man as there was not good communication there between Bond and Menjivar. And that will give a throw in to Atlanta United 2 on the far sideline. Menjivar definitely not happy about that one. Sandoval. Rare forays offensively for Atlanta United in the last few minutes of play, as they have decided that they're going to close up shop a little bit more and collapse their ranks in front of their keeper, Alec Khan.
We're into the 81st minute, and they're tightening the defense and bringing people back.
Well, played out here to Ramirez. Penn FC needs a sense of urgency here. Again, looking for Tribbett, who has been moved up from the center back position to a forward position. More or less playing 3 up top now. With Paulo Jr., Prince Baffo flanking the target man in Tribbett. We're going to have another substitution here for Penn FC. Let's see who this ends up being for. It's going to be Walter Ramirez, the Honduran, who is done for the evening. He comes off to the near sideline. And that means the substitute that comes into the game is the very youthful-looking Fabio de Sousa. Foul called against Penn FC. Sandoval will take his time getting up on this one. If I'm not mistaken, this is de Sousa's first USL appearance of the season. Yes, it is. So for de Sousa, will make his appearance here. Shot across, Sandoval, goal, and that should do it.
A backbreaker.
No. Offside.
Okay. Well.
Offside is the call.
Dodged a bullet there, Brian.
Wow. It was very late called there from the line judge. But Penn FC knew it right away. Conway had something to say about it and then also prevented the quick restart from Penn FC. So he picks up a yellow card for Atlanta United. I just looked up out of the corner of my eye, saw Sandoval dashing in, and that deflection could have ended this one. Instead, Penn FC still has life down 2-1. Foul as Franco, taken down the middle of the field, quickly restarted to the near side to Sousa.
And our view of the linesman was obscured, so we couldn't see the flag go up, but that looked like a lot of trouble.
Fabio De Sousa, by the way, played for New York City Red Bulls U23 team in the PDL a year ago. And also had an assist in an Open Cup game against Richmond earlier this year. Good dispossession of the ball by A.J. Cochran, the former first-round pick by the Houston Dynamo back in 2014.
Voss at it again.
They don't even need to hire a ball guy.
They don't. He's there.
If Penn FC is behind. Because then he's really in a hurry to get the ball back into play.
But he's very laid back, watching the ball roll gently out of bounds. Boy, he was right on top of it.
I understand completely.
Those seconds matter. I mean, to be candid, I mean, that's the sense of urgency you have to have, and his entire squad has to pick it up at this point. We're running out of time.
Piser's kick from the back got up in the air, didn't get much distance, but the offside whistle blown against Metcalf. He played professionally over in Wales a year ago and now is skippering as far as the captain's duty tonight for this Atlanta United team. Throw-in coming up for Penn FC as now they finally have a foray into the offensive half. There's Franco. Diagonal run towards the box. Chips it off to the side. Is there enough room? Stays in play. Back out. Franco chipped in. Headed by Metzger. Couldn't get enough of it. Although Jr. drops it back. Here's De Sousa. Last touch by Atlanta United 2.
They need Coach Voss over on this touch line.
Barble gets it to him, and De Sousa will throw it in. 85th minute of play. Time running short on Penn FC tonight. They trail 2-1. Although Jr. twisted in the box.
Nice ball, though.
Great ball. Slips down. Jaime squeezed off, and the official is 100% correct. He was already going to the ground as he got bumped from the sides, but he was already going down to the ground. No call called for Miguel Jaime. You see, he's already on his way to the ground. Maybe it's different if he was able to stay up earlier, but as he's already down, going down, not going to get that one.
Yeah, a little assistance on his ride does not get you a PK.
They have to play the ball quickly over to this near side. Cannon was not given much room by his teammate, trying to make a play on that one. Crowd continues to be restless here at FNB Field. Goals by Sandoval in the 3rd minute. Tribbett in the 34th. And then what looks like the game winner as of now by Andrew Carlton in the 40th minute.
Not so fast.
For now, it looks that way, unless Penn FC can equalize in the next 5 minutes, plus stoppage time.
There should be a fair amount of stoppage time. There were a couple of injuries in that second half. We'll have to see.
I got 4. We'll see about that. Bond looking for the head of Tribbett. Goes past him. Because of the moisture, it's going to die back there, so Atlanta United 2 has to play it out. There's Venter. All the way back to Piser. Man, did he play a whale of a game in the last one against Bethlehem Steel. Ball skips past Jake Bond. He is able to get there barely. Back to Piser. Sandoval continues to put enough pressure on to force an errant pass. Chance for the counterattack. Metcalf plays it up the middle. Nobody home. miscommunication there. Sandoval knocks his man down, and Venter goes down. Fortunately for Penn FC, because there was a lot of miscommunication going on in the back for the home team.
Yeah, there really was. That could have been very, very dangerous. Miscommunication, and as a result, you don't clear that back line, and that's how opposition goals get scored. 2
balls out there on the pitch at the same time. They're going to have to do it one more time here in the 87th minute of play.
With no time to kill, this is...
So here it comes, the kick from Pizer off the restart. Tribbett gets there. Menjivar recovers it. Atlanta United comes out of there with it. Bond, though, steps in front of Kunga's hard touch. Will now send it the other way. Sent to an open man. That is D'Souza over here. His first touch betrays him. There's Atlanta United 2, who can waste a little bit more time here in the 88th minute. Gallagher streaking towards the box. Gets around D'Souza. Down to the byline. Saved by Pizer. And a great job by Menjivar outrushing 2 Atlanta United 2 players. Penn FC going to have to bring this one back to the spot of the foul to restart. But a great job of hustle there for Menjivar, as that rebound came out in a dangerous position, but he got there first. The rip from the Irishman, Gallagher. Pizer away from his goal, and as you can see, Menjivar got there first. The guy who is late there is a guy who already has a yellow card in this game. Comes Penn FC. Ball played long. Tribbett looking for the end of it. Into the box. Tribbett, one touch, shot and deflected by Can, who never lost track of him the entire way across. Corner kick.
Stayed right with him, but you've got another situation coming from the corner now. Penn FC has lived on these set pieces, especially from the corner. And here's another one.
Menjivar puts it down. Atlanta United 2 plays the short corner, so they're going to send it into the mix. Ball bending, backside. Venter tried to get a piece of it, could not. To the near side, Penn FC still with the possession. Opportunity here. Ball played left-footed. Jaime cannot find the head of one of his players, instead headed away. Still in the offensive third for Penn FC with Franco. Looking, and Baffo's touch is too strong. Over the end line as we enter now the 90th minute of play here from FNB Field in Harrisburg, with Penn FC down to Atlanta United 2 by a score of 2-1.
Yeah, the sand is really almost through the hourglass now, and you've really got to look for Penn FC to bring everybody forward and press as hard as they possibly can. The back line moving up, but they've really got to bring people up and provide all the support they possibly can.
Can pushing his team forward, taking a lot of time, and he's going to get the yellow for time wasting. You knew it was coming.
And he didn't mind.
Ball played up. Into the Penn FC half it goes. Jake Bond is back there. We're getting rumors of about 5 minutes of stoppage time. Here it is up the middle. That is onside. Pizer, though, well in front of Conway. He will quickly tow it out of there. 5 minutes of stoppage time is the number. Tribbett looking for Paulo Jr. Between players, Jr. cannot get there. Can is there, and the Atlanta United 2 players asking where was the offside, as it looked like Jr. might have been about a half a step behind the last man when receiving that ball. And sends it up the field. Over here on the near side, to D'Souza, able to hold off Metcalf long enough for Venter to play it back up the field. Baffo gets ahead to it, but Sandoval is there first. D'Souza, great touch that time to Menjivar. Ball up the near side. D'Souza is there. Left footer towards the corner, and it just missed. It was intended to be a cross, and it almost was an equalizer.
That was a laser, too. That was a really, really well-placed shot. I think he meant to take the shot. He saw the corner and tried to hook it right in.
If he did, that's a brilliant move there, but
yeah, there was nobody to cross it to.
I think you might be right there.
Yeah,
he was looking for that near post. I may stand corrected, I may not. But afterwards, after seeing it, he's going to say it was a shot. Ball played up. Sousa, Metzger. NFC, we are into stoppage time. About the second minute of stoppage time is about to elapse. NFC still with about 3 more minutes. Headed by Tribbett. Nobody backside on the play, but Atlanta United 2 can't clear it. Menjivar chips it. Ball headed away. Good job that time. And we're going to have a foul called against Penn FC.
And here will be some more deliberation moving this ball out.
Not too much. He already has a card, so
I
it can't be too
but
deliberate. But A.J. Cochran was the guy who was
sprinting to the spot.
No, A.J. Cochran was able to outduel Tribbett on that last header back in the box. There you see the keeper for Atlanta United 2. All the way into the Penn FC end with the free kick. FC will play it back now. A high ball once again looking for Tribbett. Cannot get him. But the ball played to a neutral part of the field. Penn FC is in control of it. D'Souza chips it. Backside. There's some blue jerseys there. A chance there. And cleared away before Metzger can get a turn to it. About 2 minutes left to go in stoppage time for Penn FC. Into the box it goes. Cleared, sent back in by Venter. Can is there, and he gets around Tribbett to get it first. Hands able to get higher than head on a consistent basis.
It generally works that way.
It's not going to be 3 points for Penn FC tonight for sure. The question is, can they find the equalizer late to steal one back? Kunga down to the corner, and the young Angolan is able to win a throw. Crowd has been restless for quite some time here for the home folks. As Atlanta United 2 has come in here and has basically ignored the record and the fact that their playoff possibilities are likely nil. And that they're playing a team that's looking to do so on their own. Ball played all the way back into the box it goes.
No threat whatsoever.
Nobody was pushed up far enough. So we have less than a minute to go, it appears, in stoppage time for Penn FC. It's Atlanta United 2 with a 2-1 advantage. D'Souza chests it forward. Tribbett was offside, so he can't go get the ball that was near him. Bond will head it back up. The ball played over the far sideline. One last rush maybe in this Penn FC squad. Looking for a throw. Baffo. Now over to Bond. Driven ball. Cannot get past Metcalf. And now it is Gallagher who probably will be able to waste the rest of the time. The Irishman up to the corner. He's taken down by Menjivar. No foul called. It will be a goal kick. Will they have enough time to have one more rush at this one? Venter back. They check the watch. Pizer will play it long, I would think. The center referee is not blowing the whistle yet. He's going to give him one more chance.
That's going to be it.
Here comes Tribbett. Ball played into the corner, drop back. Here is D'Souza. Crosses it into the box. Headed out of danger, but not completely out. Baffo right side of the box. Now turning is Franco, twisting it backside, nobody home. Chance for one more rush out of this. Here's D'Souza. Plays it to Metzger. Metzger cuts it down to the byline. It'll be played out. That'll do it. Atlanta United 2 comes into Harrisburg and upsets the homestanding Penn FC, and very much so hurts the potential playoff chances of Penn FC with a 2-1 victory, as both teams a little testy after the whistle. We see some pushing and shoving out there afterwards. Definitely the frustrations of having a game that you needed to have if you're Penn FC boiling over just a little bit.
And
out
no
there on the
question,
pitch.
there's a little taunting going on. You don't like to see that, but this has to be viewed as a disappointment for Penn FC. They needed 3 points. They were against a side that had not played well recently, and the standings reflected it. And unfortunately, very, very early goal holds up, and Atlanta walks out with a 2-1 victory.
So Penn FC will have to turn things around on Wednesday as they will take on the Indy 11 then. And for Atlanta United too, a nice victory for them, and this young club continues to develop as the season goes on. We're going to step out for a break. We'll be back with our post-game wrap-up coming up after this. Atlanta United 2 with a 2-1 victory over Penn FC. Back after this with a wrap on ESPN+.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
Welcome back here to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux here at FNB Field, where Penn FC drops a heartbreaking 2-1 decision to Atlanta United 2. And we'll take a look, Charlie, at the goals in this one, all in the first half, and they started early with Devin Sandoval.
Only about 2.5 minutes in. Here you're going to see a little chip. A not well-marked player, Sandoval, scores on the header.
And then Penn FC would get the response. Ken Tribbett's 6th goal of the season off the corner kick. But here is the game winner as the youngster who really affected this game mightily in the first half of play. Gallagher, his 2nd assist of the game. This one to the youngster Andrew Carlton, who finds the back of the net. And that's the decider as Atlanta United 2 with a 2-1 victory tonight over Penn FC as we take a look at our post-game statistics. And when you look at the shots in this game, the advantage went to Penn FC. They had more of the chances in this one, but the bottom line is you have to be able to take advantage of those opportunities, as it's 17 shots overall for Penn FC compared to 8 for Atlanta United. And saves in this game there were a total of, see where that one is here. Can't find that one on my sheet here, but we've got corners of 7 of them for Penn FC, none for Atlanta United.
Penn FC dominated statistically, but unfortunately they only give you points at the end of the match for points you put on the board. And you know, they gave Atlanta goals they should not have given up. We knew that was going to be a little bit of a challenge tonight with the personnel shifts that had to take place for Penn FC, but they also couldn't put the ball inside the posts when they had to do it. And that was maybe because they didn't have the forwards they're used to having, but they pressed the attack pretty well when they were down.
Has to be part of the story of this game. Next home match for this Atlanta United 2 team, they will be at Tampa Bay Rowdies next Saturday, but the following Friday, September 21st, they'll be back at Coolray Field for a 7 o'clock start time against North Carolina FC. That'll be the next home game for them. As far as Penn FC, that'll be this Wednesday, September 12th, 6:30 start time, and right back here on the air on ESPN Plus for that one. Is now a much more pivotal game coming up against the Indy 11. And again, for tickets, you can check out pennfc.com and get those game tickets, as it'll be the first and only appearance of Indy 11 here at FNB Field this season. So for the season now, Atlanta United improves to 5-13-8. Penn FC drops to 8-10-8 overall. And that will do it for our broadcast tonight. Penn FC misses an opportunity to try to move up in the points and in the standings. They will remain where they are in 11th place going into their midweek game with the Indy 11. For Charlie Giroux, this is Brian Kaiser saying good evening from FNB Field in Harrisburg. Our final score, Atlanta United 2, Penn FC 1. You watched it here on ESPN Plus.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United